Welcome, folks. Welcome back to another tier list. I'm Black Templar, and this time around, we're going to use the Monster Season format. What is Monster Season? That's basically every team in the game throughout the entire season. So, as you can see here, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 matches, plus the finals, which would be quarterfinals, semifinal, and a final. 30 plus matches. This is a monster season. We've done one of these before, and by God, it's a long ass season. However, certain things will change. So let's get to it. Amazons. Balance. Back from above average, because you see, the YouTube League is a sweet spot for them. But in a monster season, this is where their power diminishes. Yes, they'll have a lot of blodge pieces, but a lot of people will have tackles, they'll have mighty blows, they'll have a lot of tricks to deal with them. So, yeah, they drop. Blackhawks. They go above average. Because they have more time to get more goblins, and their Blackhawks have now become killers and decent linemen. Yes, they're slow to level up, but by the time they level up to the point where they're needed, they could become absolute monsters. Not cream of the crop, but basically they're on the borderline of balance, but they've just scraped because they've got more strength. Chaos Dwarfs. Balanced. Yes, they're getting weaker. It's not because they are bad, it's just that everyone around them will be stronger. You see, this is the problem when you have a team that's got ridiculous skills early, but later on, they really don't have much to work with. So basically, they become more and more normalized. And that's where the troubles lie. Renegades. Balanced. Again, they're still a good team, but they're more on the upper balance side, basically closing to above average. But unfortunately, because their players, because of animosity and some of their players are questionable, is the only thing that's holding them back. But they're still a good team, and a 30 game plus Renegade team could be absolutely horrifying to deal with, especially if you get the big guys. Like, let's say you get all three big guys with block. It's like you look at that thinking, yeah, I'm not moving that stuff. I'm pretty much buggered in the line, and their line outs, well, depends what skills you got compared to what they've got. Chaos. Balance. Yep. By the time they've gotten their skills and their play, they're still a very powerful team. They're like the Chaos Renegades, upper close to above average to balance. So they're kind of like, yeah, they're there, but it's everyone around them is the problem. Dark Elves. Above average. They're still powerful. Actually, no. Balance. I remembered something. Yes, they're powerful. They still got their abilities early season, but it's late season where the problem lies. Because a lot more players have skills to deal with them, and attrition's going to play in a big factor in a monster season. This is when the elves start having problems. Because, let's be honest, if you're in the game 28, and you're facing a team that has a lot of block, a lot of mighty blow, and tackles, it's like, and you're an elf, you go, oh, yeah, I'm going in for a long, grindy war. And plus the fact, this whole 5-star player thing I talked about, this is where it starts to affect them. Because now, with players now being like, attrition's going to get involved now. So this could be the problem. Dwarves. Balanced. Everyone around them. Yes, they have skills like guard and block and fend and all that jazz, but everyone will have ways of dealing with them. They'll either be faster or have mighty blow pieces to break their armor, so they do suffer. Goblins. Joke. Before anyone screams that goblins are better, hear me out. Remember what I said, this is a monster season. 30 plus games. And unfortunately for the goblins, because of their mortality rate is horrendous, And plus that they lose their weapons after the first drive. This is a team that's going to struggle in an immortality rate. Now, early on, yes, you're going to be good, but it's when you get to the midpoint, which I believe is at game 15, this is when your team starts to struggle. Because everyone around you is going to have blocks, tackles, mighty blows. They're just going to have a field day. You're going to spend more time trying to kill your opponent before you get the ball in the touchline. But if you don't kill them, it's going to be a problem. Halflings. Now, this is hard with Halflings. They're not a joke, but they're not below average. They're in the middle. But the treatment is their biggest asset because unlike the trolls that could have a brain fart, they've got some skills. So I'm going to put them below average. Just. And I emphasize on the word just. Because of they've got the good positionals like the thrower and the goat, as well as the two treatment. That will keep them above water. But like I said before, when it gets further, it's going to get worse. High elves. Balance. Yep. You heard me. Balance. Even though like the dark elves, but they suffer the same problem. Attrition is going to play a factor. The more injuries they take, the worse it's going to get. They're still a powerful team, but they're starting to get weaker. Humans. Above average. I mean, I know people say, wait, they've been above average all through your run. Because they're that good. They're one of the few teams that are so versatile, they can do anything. You lose a catcher? No problem. I can just grind you out in a fight. Or my fighting is not doing well. I can just outpass you. So, yeah. Still better. Imperial Nobility. Above average. Now, yes, attrition is going to be no problem for them, but they've got enough skills just to squeak. I mean, the blockers and all them, they're going to be stronger. They're going to be nasty to deal with. The ogre's going to be a monster. The thrower's going to be well skilled. And even the peasants will be decent. So they will be a decent team. Yes, they'll still suffer the peasant attrition problem, but you don't care. You just go away. Oh, I lost a peasant. No worry. I have a new guy to take his place. And so they are above average. Khemri. Balance. Yes, balance. The Khemri team is an absolute beast because by the time they reach the 30th game, if they've not had a total collapse, you could have Tomb Kings with a lot of very powerful skills roaming about, causing mischief. You've got a Thro-Ra who, 9 10, you're going to put block on him and have like higher agility if you could get it, or better pass stat. And the Blitz-Ras will be your kill pieces, and the Boneheads, you'll get a few good skills around them. They still have the same problem of slowness, but they are getting stronger. Khorne. Yep. And you know why. As soon as they get a lot of block on the team, because that is the first skill they're always going to take, block. As soon as half their team gets block and start getting mighty blow, this is a horrific team to take on. Because they have block. They'll have mighty blow. Some with tackle. Some with guard. It's just like, yeah. And with the blood spawn as well, running amok with the Chaos Warriors, yeah, that's a horrifying team to deal with. And with Frenzy, you're going to be pushing up the field better than what your opponent's going to be. Lizardmen. Above average. What more do you need to say about these guys? What do I need to say? Samurai gets stronger, the Skinks become annoying, and the Croc Skull becomes an absolute beast. But yet again, like I said, they're slow to level up. But when they do level up, get out the road. That's one thing I'm going to tell you. Necromantic. Balance. Yet again, they're balanced. But their werewolves become stronger, the ghouls have now become more secure, and the ghost is absolutely tearing things up. But the zombies and the flesh golem, not much. But they're doing what they're doing. But again, attrition is their biggest weakness. But you really don't care about the zombos. It's only if the werewolf and the ghosts get killed, then you've got a problem. But other than that, a good balanced team. Norse. Balanced. Sorry, I lied. Below average. Why? Even though the Valkyrie will get stronger and become an absolute beast to deal with, but she's only 2-player. The rest of the team is attrition. Yes, if they can survive not getting murdered, or certain skills they lose. To put it simply, guys, if they suffer any armor break or strength lowering, you're all but sacking them. So, yeah. So, in my honest opinion, they're getting weaker through attrition. I mean, yes, some of the players are going to be nasty to deal with, but attrition is their biggest weakness. And in a long, protracted season where you could have matches where your team gets absolutely obliterated, not the best thing. Nurgle. Stark contrast, isn't it, from the first video where they were like the lowest. Now they're above average. You think, what the hell's going on here? Simple. They've had time to develop. Now, their true sweet spot is roughly 16 plus games. Why? Because their Nurgle warriors have leveled up. The Beast of Nurgle's is now a beast. The Pestigors can now hold the ball and do blitz work. And some of the Rotters have gotten some skills to be more defendable. Yeah. Nurgle becomes a very early bad team to an absolute terrifying force. As long as they can get there without too much problems. I mean, if you lose lots of Rotters, you don't care. As long as your Pestigors, your Chaos Warrior, and the Nurgle spawn make it to their sweet spots, they're just going to be kicking everyone to the curb. Ogres. Below average. Because the fact they can get star players, I mean, let's be honest, if you can get a lot of great star players for cheap, they're just absolutely horrifying to deal with. But unfortunately, the Snotling problem, and also the Ogres are, well, slow, and the boneheads will be an issue. But the star players will help them. Orcs. Balance. It's not that they're not powerful, it's everyone around them. That's the problem. As soon as you see an orc, they're going to have a lot of blocks. You're not going to be able to muscle your way through like you did before. You're going to be in for a fight. But they're still good. Orbital the Lions. Balanced. Because they've now got more better skills on their teams and they're a bit more sturdier, they're going to be better. Like I said about the Nurgle and the Khemri, the longer the season goes, the better they get. Unlike some teams that have ridiculous stats early and are better early, later games, they get better. Now, yes, as always, if they suffer a collapse, it's a problem, but 9 out of 10, they tend to be sturdy. Pro Elves. Above average. Now, I know elf players are going to scream at me. Wait, you made them above average than these guys? Hear me out. What makes them different? Cheapness. They can easily replace their players better than what a dark elf can and a high elf can. I mean, yeah. Roughly about, the dark elves are about 80,000 for most of their best players, and I think they're, give me a sec, let me check the book. Right, your Dark Elf lineman is 70k, so, and the better players are nearly 100 to 85 plus. So that can be expensive. The elves are the same, they're higher price. But a pro elf, let me get the pro elf section. Nurgle, Ogre. Sorry about this. We'll take a few minutes. Here we go. Sorry about that. They're called Elf Union. I forgot. They're not pro elves, but you know who they are. 60k for alignment. For 75. Catches and blitzers. Yeah, they're more expensive, but really, you don't really. As long as the catches and blitzers are okay, you're going to be fine. But the problem is, as well, like I said, they're cheaper to replace. They're not. As long as their catches are fine, they're going to be doing okay with a passing, let's say with a throw and blitzer. Attrition is still their issue, but they have easier chances of replacements than the other two are. Skaven. Balance. Now, by this point, you have enough Skaven to use the Rat Ogre effectively, but unfortunately, the same problems arise. Because as soon as someone sees Skaven, there's going to be a lot of players with tackle to quell the gutter runners. Other than that, that's pretty much the shtick with them. Snotlings. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, you can have ridiculous amount of star players, but the rules state you must have 11 Snotlings. So 5 star players may seem great, and you could get some very powerful pieces. But 9 out of 10, once you go rid of the Snotlings, it's like saying, right, once the pump wagon's gone, the trolls I'm not too fussed about, and the star players, pick off the ball handling one and say, right, say Morgan Fogg's there, all right, we'll just slow him down with one piece at a time, and he has to do all the blitzing. The others might not be able to do things, so yeah. Snotlings are a bit of a joke, unfortunately, but only in this format. Undead. Balanced. Again, it's everyone around you, but they're still powerful. They still have good pieces. They could do things, so they're more balanced. Underworld. Dropped to below average. Yet again, this is their problem. Because everyone around them is getting stronger. I mean, they could still be stronger, but everyone around them, they'll have ways of taking them out quick. This is the downside to Underworld. I mean, yes, they can get some good star players, but the fact that the attrition is the biggest issue, and plus the fact as well, I mean, yeah, that stuff is cheap, but the problem you've got is you're not going to get many skills to utilize. Because as soon as your like gutter runner and thrower are taken out, the rest of the team is just now fodder to be picked. Vampires. Yeah. What more do you need to know? At this point, they could have like up to 3 or 4 vampires skilled up and a lot of thralls just to make the numbers. I mean, they could have like a Voltgeist, a thrower, a runner, and a blitzer. They might even go for 2 blitzers and just absolutely just run amok. I mean, yes, their attrition could be an issue, but the fact is that you have a runner who would have block, dodge, leap, and sprint. It's like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that thing. I can't hold it unless I have to kill it. And first I think I'll regenerate, so then come back and go, yeah, you killed this, but I'm back for another round, so good luck with that. Same with like the thrower. It's like saying, yeah, I'll give him Cloudburst and other pass skills to say, right, you're not going to stop my passes. And you got the blitzers running amok, and the Voltgeist doing what he does best. Wood Elves? Balance. But on the lower end of the balance this time. Yes, they'll have more of their pieces, but attrition and replacing is a problem. As soon as their best players are taken out, or they lose a lot of their line folk, they're in trouble. Early on, depends what stat they take. If they take the Treeman and one War Dancer and a thrower, the passer won't be around for a little while, and by the time he comes around, you either got people who are ready to deal with it or not. So it's one of those things you're going to have to be smart. And that is it for this video. Now, what do you think? Do you agree with this Monster Season thing where they all stacked up? Do you agree or disagree? Leave a comment in the comment section below who you think where they should be. And on the next video, we're going to be talking about continuous seasons with a draft. Anyhow, I'll catch you later.